What is a sign that you're unattractive? A friend of mine tried to kiss a girl at a party. She replied, "I'm not drunk enough for that." Then vomited on the floor and passed out. Women always call me ugly until they find out how much money I make. Then they call me ugly and poor. When you wear clothes that are revealing and people call you brave. If you're attractive, they will say how hot you look. The checkout girl separating you and your wife's items at the till. A friend of mine shared a post about not being cute, racked up at her and angry reacts. Shared the same post, got sad reacts lol. My high school best friend was extremely good looking, so most guys who ever talked to me did so in hopes of getting to know her, and a lot of guys would talk to me. I later found out about the existence of this webcomic that they started about us, which was called The Hot and the Funny. The caricature for me in the comic is one of the ugliest things I have seen in my entire life. Edit. I don't have links to it now, and I'm not sure if it still exists. Had I kept archives of that comic, I would have never had a healthy self-esteem. Babies don't stare at you, and kids tell you that you are ugly. I was once told by a doctor that babies stare at what they find pretty. I was at a bar with the boys. Across the room, me and a pretty lady met eyes. For a moment things moved in slow motion. I gave her a wry grin and looked away. Another minute or so passed, and I glanced back her way. We instantly locked eyes again. I think I'm on here. I notice her friend walking over to me, and I'm thinking, oh HH, this is it. She's probably gonna tell me her friend thinks I'm cute. She tells me her friend wants me to stop staring at her. It's creeping her out and maybe we should think about leaving. To make it worse, the boys all wanted to know what she said. Could have been worse. You could have ended up with her. Someone brought up that every friend group has an ugly friend. I stupidly said, that's not true. I don't think anyone here is ugly. Silence. I thought nothing of it for 3 years until it finally hit me. Your friends are assholes. Real friends would have said you're the ugly one, you duckhead. I was always told I have a face for radio. If you hear looks don't matter or similar addressed to you. Suddenly the guy in the van is all out of candy and tells you that his parents told him to not talk to strangers. A girl tried to hook up with me while she was drunk and then went to AA after she sobered up. When someone says you could be really pretty if insert some appearance changing hack here. You would be really pretty if you weren't so ducking ugly. My sister and I were always told she was the pretty one. I was the smart one. I'm not smart. Your sister must be stupid AF. If a stranger who's smiling makes eye contact with you, then stop smiling. My crush did this with meal mayo. When you look in the mirror and your reflection ducks. Had her after reading this and fitting everything I've concluded him ugly as shit. I actually feel pretty bad tbh. You're invisible. Not only do you not get hit on, you don't even get talked to. Who's talking? People say hang out with kids because they are honest. Never do that. I was such an asshole as a kid. I called everyone that has dark hair ugly because my mum had blonde hair, and for me, she was beauty itself. You do not know how a child's mind works. They will call you ugly just because you look nothing like their mum. Edit 1. Apparently I have to also mention that I'm female, not a dude that wanted to fuck his mum. People say hang out with kids because they are honest. Never do that. I was such an asshole as a kid. I called everyone that has dark hair ugly because my mum had blonde hair, and for me, she was beauty itself. You do not know how a child's mind works. They will call you ugly just because you look nothing like their mum. Edit 1. Apparently I have to also mention that I'm female, not a dude that wanted to duck his mum. My friend and I was at this summer camp. There's this cute girl in our group. My friend, he's a solid 8/10, asked for a picture together. The girl gladly and excitedly said yes. After they got their picture taken, I asked her to get a picture with me too, and the look on her face was like why not we take a picture as a group instead, and then she walks away. This was way back then. Now I'm more confident and kinda glowed up, so I'm fine. At my grandfather's funeral a few years back, my mom asked my aunt, her sister, how she managed to have 3 absolutely gorgeous kids, while me and my brother were standing right behind her. When she found out we heard her, she got flustered and almost embarrassed. My aunt was shocked. My one cousin was shocked and apologized to me later. Alway knew I wasn't the belle of the ball, but to hear my own mom fully admit she wishes we looked like my cousins was the cherry on top. And when I realized I really wasn't that great looking, if my own mother thought that was an interesting day to say the least, and I'll never forget. So to answer the question, a sign you're unattractive is when your own mother wishes you looked like someone else. When members of the opposite sex get upset, if you are friendly to them, like if are minding your own business having a nice day, thinking about something else, and you accidentally smile and say thank you to someone in a shop, at which they give you a look of fear and disgust. My 5-year-old cousin once pointed to an old photo in my great aunt's house and asked, "Is that me?" Me, "Nope, that's me when I was your age." "Huh, you used to look just like me." Me, "Yep. And when you grow up this is what you'll look like." Pointing to myself. She burst into tears and ran to her mother. Edit, yes, my cousin and I are the same gender. Thank you for the silver, it warms my ugly little heart. TikTok comments all the time. I saw a post where someone said, if you want to know if you are pretty or not, make a TikTok post about how pretty you are. If they comment conceited or arrogant, you are pretty. If they comment brave and yes self-love, you are ugly. That one really hit home. I had a picture of my first wife, we had just gotten married, up on my desk at work on my second day at the job. One of the senior programmers came by to introduce himself and looked at the picture. He goes, "Oh no, I guess the old guy accidentally left that picture here." I politely explained that it was my wife, and he was like, "Damn, good for you." That solidified who was the better looking one in that relationship. Now the guy who worked there before had the same picture. If you're attractive and you say you're ugly, people look at you annoyed and accuse you of fishing for compliments. If you're not attractive and you say you're ugly, everyone tries their hardest to convince you that you're not ugly. Finally, one that I'm an expert in. Children stare at you until their parents make them stop. You're told you look like a fictional character, and that character is known for being unattractive. Strangers avoid you before you've even had a chance to say anything. You ask someone out, and she just laughs at you. Genuine uncontrollable laughter. The cashier looks up at you and flinches. You get the cops called on you just for existing in public. Okay, so I'm a firm believer in the cliche that beauty is only skin deep. I work at trade shows across the country around male and female models who are physically attractive, and while you might say or think, wow, they're really good looking, that in and of itself does not define them as attractive. Being attractive to me means people are drawn to you. You attract others to be near you, and they like to be around you. They want to know more about you. They invite you to do things. You might notice that you're unattractive if, in general, people avoid you. They ignore you in passing. People tend not to engage with you. They don't have any interest in who you are as a person. You're forgettable. I opened this thread expecting to get insulted, not deep depressed. Simple. Don't worry, insert name. There are plenty of fish in the sea. You'll find someone. Or, I wish there were more guys like you. Translation, you're nice, but you look like the wrong end of a gibbon. I had someone say the fish line to me about 3 hours ago. Sucks to be me lol. It's different for men and women. For women, it's easy. If you're attractive, you're probably getting hit on fairly consistently. This might not be true if you avoid bars and clubs though. For men, it's significantly harder. You can be very attractive before even a single woman will actively hit on you, at least in a way that you'll actually recognize. If you're a dude and nobody you can remember has hit on you, NBD, the biggest indicator I've found is probably that in any random conversation with somebody that doesn't know you well, if the topic of relationships come up and you mention you're single, people express mild surprise. Oh boy, finally a question based on my expertise. Few pointers from my experience of being unattractive for 18 years. Shit, I'm not ready for this. You mumble under your breath every time someone takes out their phone. and says let's take a selfie. Getting tagged you in a post/photo notification is a literal nightmare, especially if it's a group picture, because you know you look ugly in 9/10 of them, and the person who posted the picture definitely didn't make the decision based on how you look in it. You've experienced at least one I like you, but, my dudes, every sentence before the word but is horseshit. You've had at least one friend who is constantly trying to tell you how beauty is skin deep, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, etc. Yo you haviagram zatp personali tithogh. Guys/people befriend you, only to get a medium, to befriend your actually attractive friend. This is the end of AskReddit. What is a sign that you're unattractive? If you enjoyed, please subscribe and like, and you will get noticed by your crush.